Hello, everyone. Welcome to another write-in. I wanted to say Saturday write-in, but then I remembered it's also NaNoWriMo Day 9. So I decided today's a good time for me to make my return. Last week I didn't do any live streams, even though I had planned to do regular ones, because of the fact that I don't know if you remember 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that I would be traveling so much. And well, when I came back from the second trip that I took to Johannesburg and Pretoria last week, I caught something, I assume, on the airplane, because the day after that, that Saturday, I just couldn't speak at all because my voice was gone. So I just thought that at that stage, as much as I love talking with you guys, that actually sitting here for like at least an hour and a half to 2 to 3 hours talking with a sore throat would be like trying to rasp it for 3 hours long, and it just didn't feel like a good idea, so I decided to skip. But yeah, that's basically where I went. It wasn't anything weird or anything like that. It was just literally, I'm sure, because I can hear it in myself, you guys can hear that my voice still isn't actually very good, because it is still, yeah, I can still feel the raspiness and the dryness in my throat, and my nose is still blocked and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? At least today doesn't feel like I'm going to be torturing myself to be speaking, so I decided to give it a shot. So that's what I'm doing here. Woo! Yay! But yeah, so still alive. But I have to admit, I am currently completely behind on my NaNoWriMo, because the idea had been to write a bit in the plane, which I did do, but not really that much because I only had a little bit of time. And basically, traveling, if on a day that I have to travel like that, is almost basically the full day somewhere moving, like in a car or in a plane or something as such. So I didn't get that much done, because the plane, with the plane jostling and people jostling you and etc., etc., it's really a lot harder than one would think. But I did get about 900 words done, and those were basically the last of the words that I wrote for NaNoWriMo so far, because of the flu or the whatever it was that I ended up getting. Um, I was so tired and just felt like my head wanted to explode the whole time. So I ended up not really getting into the writing zone at all, and which is really annoying to me, but means that I actually really want to try to do it today, but it's just so difficult for me at this stage to just get into any kind of momentum, because it feels like I have like maybe 3 weeks in this month available, and I've already lost one. So I don't know how much work I'm actually going to be able to do. But that's basically my situation. And but despite that, I am going to try to write tonight, because I do have a lot of writing stuff that I do need to do and that I want to do and that I feel needs to be done. So it is what I'm going to be working on. I will be doing some catch-up work that I am counting towards my writing total, because it is actually still creative and compositional, etc., etc. So I am counting it towards my nano. Um, I want to try working on some of that tonight and see how much of that I can get done, because it's something that I do actually have to finish by the end of November, and it's getting increasingly difficult to do so. So the longer I wait. So that's definitely something I'm going to be working on. And yeah, depending on how that goes, I will see about anything else that I might end up doing. But yeah, that's basically on my side what's going on, but I'm not really seeing anyone else joining me at the moment. I spotted someone watching, but I don't know where they went. Sorry, it might be because the fact that I sound somewhat like a goose. I apologize for that. Usually I sound a bit better, but such is life. But yeah, so I think since I am currently the only person and I really don't have it in me, even now, thanks to my spectacular energy levels, I am just going to skip right into the first writing sprint and then see how far I get. So I'm going to sprint for 15 minutes. If anyone joins in while I'm sprinting, please do drop in, and then we'll see how it goes. And I'll see you guys then. So okay, so let me just open my stuff up here because it is a bit. I always think that I actually have everything ready, and then for some reason there's always something that I forget. So I am going to set the first sprint to 10 minutes because that's nice, just like a little, or maybe even easier, because I think at this moment, with me not really having any kind of momentum, maybe we should just make it a 5-minute sprint. So let's do that. A nice quick lightning round to just warm up a little bit and see how far I get. And yeah, that's going to be what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. I just finished my very quick writing sprint. Hi to the Naked Firefly. Thanks so much for joining. Yay! Hi. How are you doing? How's your Nano going? Or are you doing Nano? I think you said you were, but maybe you changed your mind, so just let me know. But I don't know if you joined me in time for the sprint, but if you did, let me know how much you got written in the past 5 minutes. I ended up not writing anything because I just wanted to, I decided to first just read through what I have so that I can pick up my train of thought, because it's nonfiction that I'm working on at the moment. Basically, sort of an instruction manual for communications. So yeah, fun. But yeah, so just let me know what you did. Did you sprint for 5 minutes? Did you not? I think the next one I'm going to do will be a 10-minute sprint, and then we're going to just keep on gradually upping the ante a little bit until we get to a point where we're happy with how we're doing. Sorry, just excuse me for a second while I go hack up a lung. So. Yay! Brilliant. I'm back. So it is quite brilliant to know that I am able to function despite the fact that I have this very annoying coughing thing going on. So Naked Firefly says, I'm doing Nano and it's going slow. You and me both. I think most likely you are even beating me, because the last time I wrote was actually on the 1st of November, because I got this bug and it was actually much worse last week than it was this week. So there. And then Naked Firefly also said she got 0 in the past 5 minutes because the computer took a moment to load. Yeah, I did think about that because it was like a quick thing, but I needed to just get into it, because my brain at this moment, when I'm thinking about starting to do writing, to even contemplate catching up on Nano, my brain's just like, nope, that's just too much cannot be done. It is impossible. But I actually think it is still possible for me to catch up in some way. Maybe not for a win, but to get a respectable word count out. But the thing is that I need to start somewhere, and starting with the 5-minute sprint here, 10 minutes there, it actually makes it easier for me to get into that mode, because it's not that intimidating. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just try writing for 5 minutes. See how I feel. So even though and now this time I did it for 5 minutes, but I wasn't even really writing, but just the reading of it actually just got me going. So that's enough for me. So hopefully, Naked Firefly, hopefully with the next sprint, which will be a 10-minute sprint, you will be a bit more capable of getting some writing done. So yeah, I'm not sure who else is watching, but I see there's a little 2 next to the I. So if you are watching, do feel free to let me know in the chat and let me know what you're doing. Are you doing Nano? And how is it going so far if you are? So yeah, okay. I think right now, good time is to, or good thing to do will be to just get into it, because if we're all doing what like Naked Firefly says, that we are going slow, and I'm way behind, so it's a good idea to just get a lot of sprints in, especially at the moment where I'm all alone. I don't know what happened to all of my friends. Yeah, we were supposed to be like 4 people, but they just didn't show up, so they bailed on me. But you know what? It's probably just life, so I forgive them. But it's still a bit awkward for me to sit here alone on camera, because there's always that, what is it, 10 seconds? It feels like an eternity to me when there's a lag between me speaking on camera and you guys speaking in the comments. Speaking of comments, Samantha, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Let me know in the comments or in the chat whether or not you are actually doing. Oh gosh, let me just try sitting a bit more stably, because I'm noticing that I'm like doing this all the time. I really hope that you are doing well, and let me know in the chat, are you doing Nano? How's it going? And what are you working on? But yeah, in the meantime, I think let's... Oh, more comments. Goodness. Naked Firefly says she's behind too. Yeah. I think sometimes Nano is such an awesome idea, but I just really wish I had another month for it, because even for all the years that I've done Nano, I started, I think this is now, this might actually be my 10th Nano, because I think I started in 2010. So, but now I can't check because the website screwed up my records. Cool. Anyway, but the thing that I wanted to say about it is that in all this time that I've done Nano, I have never not been busy, like abnormally busy in November. So it's not actually such a shock, but what I usually had was a situation where my first few weeks was very productive, or were very productive, and then the last few weeks would taper off. And this time it's not really working out that way, because yeah, flu sucks. But anyway. Oh, there's a lot of you guys coming in. So let's see, and a lot of comments too. So before we get into the sprint, let's just see. Samantha says, I'm about 2 days ahead on my Nano book. I'm never ahead, so I'm surprised. Yay! Well done. I'm really happy for you. That's awesome news. It's always good to know when someone's doing well. Good. Awesomeness. All right. So I agree with Naked Firefly there. It is awesome. So cool. I think the next thing to do is we did it. Oh, okay. Hi, Alex. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Lots of first-time people, I think, dropping by, probably from the Nano tags and things that I put up when I announced that I'm doing the sprint. So thank you very much, guys. Do leave a chat comment and let me know what you're working on. What genre? All genres are welcome, and just what you're trying to do. Is it poetry? Is it fiction? Is it non-fiction? Right now, I will be working on non-fiction, but woohoo, I'm amped. It's so nice to know that I'm not writing alone today. Awesomeness. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, so we've already done a 5-minute sprint. The next one I'm going to do is a very quick 10-minute sprint, which is going to just seriously go by very quickly, guys. But the idea is just to warm up and get into the mood. And I might actually, since I'm the only one on camera today, I might actually go on a little bit later, but I'll see how I feel, depending on, because this is starting to be dinner time, so I might be hungry. So we'll see. But we're going to build our way up to some longer sprints, but for now we're doing a quick 10-minute sprint, and then we'll see how that works out for us, and I'll check back with you guys. Hi, Shannon. Welcome. Let me know what you're doing. All right. So I'm going to count down from 5, and then I will see you guys. I'm going to mute my computer because I listen to music in the background, and I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube and copyright stuff. So I'm going to put my computer on mute for those of you who are new, and then I will be 10 minutes. And to let you guys know, basically, that the sprint is done. Cool. All right. So I'm counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Awesomeness. 10 minutes are out. Oh gosh, my hair. I'm running my fingers through my hair and it looks a mess. Anyway, so 10 minutes have run out. How did you guys do? Let me know in the chat. I am still doing my read through to pick up my train of thought. But I have to say, I'm glad I'm doing this because it's actually, I kept, when I was writing, part of the reason why I've been putting this off, except for the fact that I've been incredibly busy, was that I kept feeling that it's not really that good as I was writing it. But now that I'm reading it with the space of about a month in between from the last time I worked on it, I'm finding that actually, no, it's not that bad at all. So, yay, excellent. So, that's also good news on my side. But yeah, how did you guys do? And also, if you feel like it, please feel free to share an excerpt. I think, let's see if I can find anything interesting from my thing here. I'm going to keep it short because I think we have, so that firstly, if more of you guys want to share excerpts, so please maybe 1 or 2 sentences at most. I know usually what we do is to share longer passages, but I think just short quotes because then it's not that intimidating to share, and also it's quicker, especially if everyone wants to start sharing, so that we don't have to spend like 30 minutes reading through everyone's stuff. And yeah, and also just basically to make it easier in general to find and copy paste, because I'm trying to fit in more sprints into these sessions for Nano than I usually do for Saturday write-ins, because Saturday write-ins are a bit more chill, but I'm way behind, so oh dear. Anyway, let's see. Okay, I think here's my sentence. You might already be picking up on this, but every descriptor of a good communications plan connects to every other descriptor in the list. In truth, you should be realizing that everything about communications should be connected. If it isn't, you're not communicating as efficiently as you can. So, yep, that's basically what I am working on right now. All right, so let's see. Comments from you guys coming in while I was reading. So Samantha says 376 words. Yeah, well done. Alex did 345 words, so that's awesome. Naked Firefly did 386 words. You guys are crushing it tonight. And then Samantha also shared a quick excerpt. Zoe had no qualms. It might not be considered honorable to duel someone who didn't raise his wand, but that was the enemy's choice. And anyways, this was war. A lack of honor could be forgiven. Interesting. That is so cool. Very, very, very good quote. Very, very like. I'm now so curious about the story there. So it's like very well done. All right. So goodness, sorry. I'm like kind of like getting this deer caught in the headlights look, because I'm seeing 8 people watching at the moment. 8 people. Sorry. So I'm not quite used to. I think that's probably the most people who have watched the stream at once. So thanks so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. And welcome to those of you. If you haven't said hi yet, please do drop in and say hi from the chat. It's always a nice thing to meet new people. And if you do say hi, do also let us know what you're working on for Nano and how it's going. And speaking of, welcome to Lyra. I assume I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. If not, please do correct me. Please do correct me. But welcome to my writing channel, and I'm really glad you joined. Do let me know how you're doing, if you're doing Nano, and yay! I did it! I did her name. I said her name correctly with an exclamation mark, so I'm even more excited. So yeah, all right. So let me know how you guys or how you're doing, and as well as any of the silent lurkers that I can see by seeing the statistics here, but that haven't left any comments. I appreciate all of you, even if you are going to continue lurking, but I would just love it if you guys left me a comment as well. So, in short, comments. Pretty much anything, as long as it's not mean to anyone and bad, if I can put it that way. Don't be an ass, that kind of thing. But anything else pretty much goes. I'm pretty cool. And with regards to that, and I do, I'm always interested to hear what guys are working on. So, doing Nano, yes, yay or nay? And also, how's it going? Are you working on your Nano project, or are you just working on random stuff, etc., etc.? Just, I'm interested and curious about all of it, so just let me know all of it. I'm dying to know. All right. Lyra says, I'm super excited about my novel. Haven't written anything yet. I'm still in bed, but I wrote a ton yesterday, and I'm excited to continue. Awesomeness. Yeah, no, that's always the best way to get into writing, I think, is if you're excited about your idea. And I'm so jealous of you being in bed right now. But my time to be in bed is coming. It is currently almost 5:40 p.m. South Africa time, which is where I am. And so my bedtime nears, but yeah, today's one of those days. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear in my voice, but I'm a bit fluey. So being in bed and just is kind of the thing that I'm in the mood for. But I'm pushing on with my writing because I have so much writing to do. So, all right. So we're all excited about getting some writing done. So I think let's just get into the next sprint. Let's see, the previous one was for 10 minutes, so I'm going to up the ante once more to, let's make it 15. And then we can see if we're happy with 15, we're going to keep it at 15 per session. Otherwise, we might go up and push ourselves. Maybe we will have a few longer sprinting sessions to push ourselves and see what our happy medium is. And if you guys are doing like, if you prefer shorter sprints interspersed in between, just let me know. If enough people request them, I will put in shorter sprints as well. Because while I am sitting here delivering edicts and being kind of like a benevolent dictator because of the fact that I'm on the camera and it's kind of hard with the lag to kind of interact with you guys in real time, just drop me a line, and after the fact, if I get enough requests, then I will adapt the plan. So cool. Let's see. Before we get into the next sprint, let's see what the next comments are saying. Samantha says, really? It's 10 a.m. for me. What a time difference. Yeah, I think there's currently, I want to say, a 7-hour time difference between Eastern time and SA Standard Time. Maybe I shouldn't say SA because people also think SA stands for South Australia, which I'm not. South African Standard Time. So I'm on Greenwich Mean Time +2. That's kind of to give you an idea. But that's also why I'm always sprinting more or less this time if I am doing any sprints at all, because it just makes it easier for my friends in the US to join, especially on Saturdays, while also meaning that I don't get that I don't have to wake up deadly early or keep up very late, because neither are particularly good for my creativity. So yeah, that's kind of my story. And then Alex also just said, I'm working on my NaNoWriMo project. I've written a lot on it so far, but I haven't moved the plot along as much as I would like. So I'm glad to be here at this writing. Awesome. I think doing sprints like this can actually help, because you can actually, just by plugging away at the scenes a little bit at a time, you actually do eventually start moving them along. So hopefully you do find this helpful, and I'm sure if you have any questions about how, like, for advice and stuff, that you can just drop a line in the chat as well, and we can see if we can help in any way, just, advice-wise and things like that. Because I think most of us even though there are novice writers among us, I think there's at least 2 or 3 of us in this chat who are somewhat experienced with writing. So I think we would be able to, help you out a little bit. And then Samantha dropped a comment just now saying, I don't have any write-ins near me, and I just discovered the virtual write-ins on YouTube, so I'm super excited. Yeah, I know. I'm the same. I live near Cape Town in South Africa, but kind of in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours out from the nearest big city. And it's really hard to get into write-ins from here. And so doing it the online way is my favorite thing, and that's actually also why I started doing this writing sprint. Let me just call it a write-in, because it's also really hard for me to join the online ones when most of them are US based, because they're usually like between 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. and let's say 5 a.m. in the morning in South African time. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So I decided to do one that's a bit more suited to my schedule. All right, so I'm really excited to have you guys here with me, and yeah, rambling. So let's just get into the next 15 minutes. I'm going to set the timer and I'm counting down, and I'll see you guys. In case you missed it before, I do mute my video, so there's nothing wrong with the feed. It's just for the sake of not triggering any copyright infringement claims or anything like that, because I play music. All right, see you in 15. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. and time. How did you guys do? Let me know. And I want to just quickly say welcome to Alec. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. And I also see somewhere, yeah, Alex said that I'm a chill while I do release day stuff. So nice decision, that one, because both the chilling and the release day stuff, both kind of important at the right time. So fair decision, but we can keep you company in the duration. So yeah, everybody else in the chat, let me know how you did. And if you want to post, like I mentioned, 1 or 2 sentence excerpts, if you feel like sharing your nicest little snippet from what you were working on before. For mine, let's see what I can see. Um, hmm. Okay, I think this is probably my best sentence from what I was reading now for the past 15 minutes. There is a reason why the term is target audience. Communications isn't a shotgun, it's an arrow, requiring focus on the target before the target can be hit. Thus, it becomes necessary to select a target for every type of communications that you plan to do. Yeah, so that was what I'm working on. In case you guys are wondering, I'm doing a toolkit for communications for a freelance contract that I'm working on. But yeah, it's interesting, but it's been challenging to write because it's hard for me to strike a balance between keeping the information moving so that everybody can read it and actually making it worth reading. So kind of a challenge there. And then Samantha says she did 220 words and some thinking, always a good thing to think. Alex says 471 words, well done. And then Samantha says, I finally figured out something that has bugged me since I got into the meat of my novel. My main character is a prisoner of war and was unsure how to get her free, but I figured it out during this sprint. The scene will be towards the end, but at least I know how she will get free. Nice. Well done. And then Naked Firefly says 320 words. Nicely done. And Shannon says she did a total of 563 words for the past 2 sprints. Nicely going, guys. You guys are doing so awesome. So far, I haven't written any words yet, but I am making quite an amount of progress for reading through what I wrote before. So I'm thinking before the sprint ends or this write-in ends, I might actually be writing new words. Yay. All right. So fingers crossed for that. I think now we start going into the question of, are we going longer than 15 minutes? So I think for now, I'm going to do another 15-minute sprint. But if you could do me a favor and just let me know, just a quick line, a yay or nay for longer sprints, and then I can kind of feel the room, because I don't want to do long sprints if you guys feel that long sprints don't help you. Because for me, 15 minutes to 25 minutes is kind of an even thing for me. I don't mind. All right, so let me know what you prefer, and then we can get like a democratic vote in this, but it will happen during the sprint. So I'm going to make this sprint 16 minutes to give you an extra minute before you have to get into the actual writing part of it, so that you can just say yes or no, and then you have an extra whatever amount of seconds after you made your decision. So cool. All right. So 16 minutes. Remember to leave your vote longer sprints, yay or nay, and then I'm going to see you guys in 16 minutes. So I'm counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Guys, I'm talking away like a fool, and I didn't realize that I forgot to take the thing off the mute. So let's try that again. Time's up, firstly. Sorry about that. Hi, Ava. Welcome to the chat and to the writing sprint. Let me know what you're doing and how it's going. Are you doing Nano? And then welcome also to Kyra. Thank you very much for joining. And same thing, just to drop a comment in the chat. Let us know what you're working on and if you're doing Nano. And if you are, how it's going. All right, so to answer my question about the writing sprint lengths, you guys seem to be saying longer. So I think I'm going to go a little bit longer next sprint and see how that goes, and we can try it out. But because Alex says I'm not sprinting, but I like 20-minute sprints for future reference. Alex says she likes longer sprints, and Samantha said I kind of usually alternate between longer and shorter sprints, but I'm pretty flexible and am willing to do whatever everyone wants. And I think those are the votes that came in on the sprint length, so I'm going to go for it. And then I just got the message from Kyra saying you are muted. Yep, I had a little bit of a silly moment where I started talking without hitting the mute button to turn it off. But yeah. So I have since repeated literally everything that I was saying before I realized that the mute was still on. Oops. But thanks for letting me know anyway. Appreciate it. Okay, Naked Firefly says she wrote 420 words. Nicely done. Samantha did 477 words. Alex did 241 words. Nicely done. Shannon did 127 words, plus all the words I messaged back and forth with my mom. Of course, those count. And then Kyra also let me know, yes, I'm doing NaNoWriMo. I'm over 20K right now, so doing good. Now still working on rewriting my timeline, and maybe tomorrow I'll get back to my book. Lol. All right, well done. 20K words this early in the year. That is, this early in the month is pretty awesome. So I'm really impressed. Well done. And great. So yeah, the thing with the sprints, I call them writing sprints, but as you might pick up, I am actually not writing actively, or I haven't been yet, but I might start now because I finally reached a section where it's new territory, so I actually do need to start writing stuff. But I spent most of the sprint so far reading through the previous things that I had written because of not working on it for a while, so I just needed to pick up the train of thought again. But yeah, so you guys are welcome if you're not writing actively, even though I call it writing sprints. Of course, we can also just say, well, you're using it for doing your timeline restructuring, or for someone doing their release. Alec, I think it was Alec who said they're doing their release posts. So yeah, everything goes and everything's valid. So awesomeness. But as long as we get some productivity and get some stuff done, it's always very, very, very awesome. Okay, so Alex said, I'm still at 12K, but release day made me have to stop. And stupid phone. Yeah, that happens with me too. But don't worry, at least because it happens with me, I could actually understand the typos anyway, so don't worry. And then Kyra just said, can't wait for your book. And Alex says, I still have imposter syndrome. Yep, that is a big thing. So good luck with that, because that can be quite crippling. I hope it's not going to get you too down, and that you enjoy your release, because release days are awesome. It's the thing that we're going for, aren't we? All right, so let's do another one. I'm trying to squish in as many sprints as I possibly can, while also being a bit humane on the breaks in between. If you guys want to share excerpts, I forgot to mention that earlier. If you want to share excerpts, just feel free to drop a quick 1 or 2 lines of your writing to share. But it's completely voluntary. I'm not demanding it from everyone. I just like doing it, but because we're so many people, I'm not doing the usual sized excerpts that we always do. Not that I don't love the fact that there are so many people watching today, because 8 is a lot, because I'm still a tiny channel, so I'm really impressed and very happy that you guys are here, and I really appreciate you. So, okay, please do feel free to share excerpts if you are sharing your word counts as well. Pick your favorite sentence or 2 sentences, etc., and share. But I think in the meantime, let's ramp things up to a 20-minute sprint now. See how that goes. All right, so I am going to count down again from 5, and then I will see you guys back here in 20 minutes. So, pardon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And hopefully, when I come back, I will have my mute turned on or turned off before I speak. See you guys. And time. Yay, this time I actually did remember to turn off the mute button. Woohoo, yay me. All right, so how did you guys do? Let me know, and also drop me some excerpts if you want to share, and then we'll see how you guys did. So let me just, in the meantime, also read through because I see a lot of comments have come in. So Ava said, give this video a thumbs up to let Misha know you dig the sprints. Yes, please. And thank you very much for reminding them, Ava. I really appreciate it. And if you guys haven't yet, please do feel free to subscribe and hit the notification button, because the plan so far is actually for me to do some random sprints. My traditional time is 5 p.m. South African time on Saturdays, but the idea is actually for me to do random sprints throughout the week at the moment, whenever I feel like them. So if you want to just drop in whenever you get a chance and you want to join me for sprints, then please don't forget to hit the notification buttons so that you will be notified, because otherwise it's kind of a 50-50 whether YouTube decides to let you know that I'm actually doing anything. All right, so let's see, next thing. Kyra said, let's see if YouTube won't cut off my excerpts or erase words as it keeps doing to me. And Alec is really glad that Ava's here. And then excerpt from Kyra. I stood on a platform with a noose around my neck, listening to a crowd clamoring for my blood while I awaited my death. Holy cow! That is such a line. I'm so sorry. This is very loud, so I'm sorry. I hope I didn't like just blow out someone's speakers. But gosh, that is. If that is like the opening line of a chapter, I am like hooked. Line and sinker. That is not even funny. I'm like, just my word. Goodness. Wow, nicely done. You caught my attention, and that is impressive, because I'm getting to that time of day. It is now almost 7 p.m. in South Africa, so I'm getting at that time of day where my brain is just like, ooh, I want to watch some TV or something. So catching my attention at all at this stage is a talent. So just wanted to let you know. So reading on. It's times like these that questions pop into your head, like, how did I get here and what could I have done differently? In the end, I guess it didn't matter. I was going to die, and the hows and whys didn't mean shit. Nice. I think that is like a really nice portion. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, let's see. Alex. Alec also shared. Let's see. He says, this is an excerpt from my debut that I am proofing at the moment. I strolled to my car, the hot wind whipping by, Haley's words replaying she didn't understand. What if I set the school on fire? What would I do with a degree? I had to move around every few decades. School would serve me no purpose. Interesting. Really interesting. I hope the book does well when it gets released. It's going to be cool. All right, so Samantha also said 500 words. So that's a nice amount of words for the past 20 minutes. Well done. Alex did 595 words, and the Naked Firefly did 456 words. Awesomeness. Well done, guys. You guys are doing so well. I'm so impressed, and thanks so much for sharing excerpts. That is very cool, and I like what you guys are doing. I'm really excited. And yeah, so let's see. In comparison, because of the fact that I'm currently writing nonfiction, I'm not always writing nonfiction, by the way. Most of the time, I am actually a South African author of fantasy, and both epic fantasy and urban fantasy, aimed at young adults, new adults, and adults. So that's usually what I'm writing, but to, getting food on the table and making a good living while I'm sorting out my fiction writing stuff involves me doing nonfiction every now and then. So what I'm working on right now is in fact a communications toolkit that isn't like an instruction manual for how to do communications plans. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. So it's kind of really boring in comparison to what you guys are doing, but you know, hey, still writing, so it counts. Hmm. All right, so just random sentence from my excerpt, because I feel like it doesn't feel fair if I'm going to ask you guys for excerpts if I can't really share. So yeah, okay. Herewith starteth the excerpt. Firstly, it is important to realize that it is unwise at best and illegal at worst to publish a recording of anyone or any of their belongings without their permission. Secondly, especially when dealing with recordings of people from the global south, there are ethical considerations when it comes to simply recording without clearly explaining what will be done with the content that results from this process. So yeah, that's going to be me for now. It's not necessarily the most exciting thing, but it is actually important work because people will, in fact, use the information I'm sharing in how they approach their marketing and things like taking pictures of people and sharing those pictures, etc., etc. So hey, it's a good reason for me to actually keep working on this. Right, so more comments have come in. Samantha, just let me know, or let us know. I'm going to sit out for the next sprint just for a longer break. My wrist is hurting a bit. Oh, I'm sorry about your wrist. That is the most annoying thing. I used to have a ganglion cyst on this wrist here, right there, and it used to kill me. It was so bad that I actually had to learn to change how I typed so that I could actually keep writing. So I know all about bad wrists, and I hope that it gets better. Fingers crossed. But yeah, do rest for longer if you need to rest, because it's important as well. And then Alex also just dropped a comment of support saying, I hope your wrist feels better, to Samantha. All right, cool. I think, what shall we do next? Let's see. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat the whole time. It's not really. I don't really like to do it, but I don't want to keep muting every time I have to like cough or anything. So sorry about that. Just this freaking flu that I got last week. That's just really kicking my backside at the moment. Hmm, hmm, hmm. I think. Shall we? Let's push ourselves a little bit. Let's see if we can do a 25-minute sprint. And then after we do a 25-minute sprint, we can see about. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish up because I think I'm about to be called to dinner. So I might have to go. But if I don't have to go, then after the 25-minute sprint, maybe we do a short sprint and then start winding down for the night again. So let's do it that way. I think that makes the most sense. Right, so I'm going to start counting down. And then I will see you guys in 25 minutes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, guys, time's up. Let me know in the comments how you did, or in the chat. Let me know. And yeah, I think I actually finished what I wanted to finish for today. So I think I'm going to be a terrible person and just bail for the night because I'm hungry. I'm actually not even a little hungry. I'm very hungry. So I think I am going to just, after finding out how you did sprint wise, I think I'm just going to disappear because I need to eat. So and I don't want to eat on camera because that would be a little weird. So yep, sorry about that, guys, but I think that's going to be the best call. I am probably going to do some kind of short writing sprint tomorrow evening just to motivate me to do some more writing because I am so behind. So I need to get some company and write with other people. But it might be that I just end up joining someone else's sprint, depending on whether or not someone is available when I am writing. So, as I mentioned before, if you haven't done it yet, please don't forget to hit the bell button to make sure that you get a notification because unless it's on a Saturday, it's not going to be planned sprints. They're just going to pop up at random. So if you want to keep an eye out to join me again in the future, then it's a good idea to just have the notification up so that it can happen and let you know the moment it goes live. So yeah, that's basically my thing. I'm just waiting to hear back from you guys. I wrote, I think, in this 25 minutes, I wrote 446 words. And I could have written more, but then I ran out of a chapter. The thing that the sections that I'm writing, I'm saying chapter, but it's really just sections of a document. So the section just wasn't long enough to keep me busy for 25 minutes, but it's just long enough for someone to read through it and have their attention maintained. So I'm not going to mess around with that and do stuff like padding up my word counts and stuff like that because that's not worth it for me. So yeah, I basically just wrote until I finished, and at about 18 minutes, I hit the last words of my section. So yeah. Cool. Alex says I am streaming tomorrow at noon my time. Maybe do me a favor and just in the chat, just leave me a link to your channel because I don't think I followed you yet. I'm not sure, but if I have and I seem to have forgotten, then I apologize. But just drop a link because if anyone wants to join in the sprint tomorrow, in any case, then free advertising, right? So feel free to share your link and then I will check it out and subscribe to your channel if I haven't yet. And because depending on what time zone you're on, maybe just also let us know that because you're saying noon my time, but I'm not sure what time zone you're on, so that could be like any time. You know what they say? It's noon somewhere, right? So just let us know. Okay. Maybe it helps reading all of the comments instead of just doing it one at a time. Alec also said it's 1 hour and 30 minutes from now tomorrow. So, okay, so it's 9 p.m. my time. So, in other words, it's going to be around 9 p.m. South African time. But yes, yeah, and so it's on Arizona time, and we don't do DLS. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, in South Africa we don't do daylight savings either. So it's actually kind of convenient for us because we don't get confused like the whole hour moving forward and hour moving back kind of thing. Although that said, it means that the rest of the world doing it confuses the heck out of us. But we try to keep track, but it's kind of hard. Let's see. Shannon says 442 words for a total of 1,386 words for the stream. Only about 8,000 words to go to catch up with today's Nano Go. Holy cow, that is a lot. Okay, so good luck with that, Shannon. But I think you did really well. I think 1,386 words is a very, very respectable total. Naked Firefly says 405 words. And then, let me just see. Shannon says, I'm still screwed up from daylight savings time. That makes me all the gladder for the fact that I don't have to go through it. Woohoo, yay me. And then Alex said, DLS is a waste of time. I don't understand it. I honestly don't either. I know it has something to do with like the fact that the hours shift, and I suppose in where I live, it would probably actually be helpful to have daylight savings time, because we actually have a situation where at like in the winter at 8 a.m. in the morning, it's actually still dawn. It's still like really dark. So it would make sense to actually adjust the time zone a little bit in that kind of sense. But I think our country isn't that large. So I think to split it into sensible time zones and doing daylight savings time in some of them, some stuff like that, probably wouldn't work very well. So yeah, random aside there. But yeah, so I think, like I mentioned, drop me a line maybe in the comments as soon as I finish up this thing. Or otherwise just hit subscribe if you haven't. But then I can follow back and drop in. But yeah, so that's basically it for me, guys. I'm still really sucky on my outros, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh gosh, some of the people that I watch live are so good on saying goodbye, and I really suck at it because I get distracted by like a million tangents, including this one. But Alec just also said, we have a lot of sun. We don't need more. South Africa as well, but our days in winter where I live is a bit shorter because I live close to the southern point of Africa. So it's the most the most south that I can get in South Africa is not very far from where I live. So it's actually yeah, it does have an impact if it's winter versus summer. But yeah, so Alex also said, thank you for the writing, Misha Garrick. I had a lot of fun. I hit the bell, and I will definitely be looking for more writings with you. Yay! Awesome. And thank you so much for joining. All people, not all people, it sounds so weird. My veteran peeps, all the people who have been regulars on my channel before, as well as all the new people who have joined in today, and everyone coming in, hopefully not just for this writing sprint, but also for this writing sprint after it is no longer live and they're just watching it for shits and giggles, hopefully. Just want to say thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciated it, and it was awesome. You guys were the best. I loved how much life we had in the chat room today. It was really great. So I am going to say goodbye and say thanks, and I really hope to see you guys soon. In case I don't, for whatever reason, just want to say good luck with your writing. May your week be very productive, and may you hit all the word goals for Nano, and so that you can win. So all the best, guys. Love you lots. Bye-bye.